Ndewo na ụmụafọ Igbo. Aha m bụ Chief Nnadozie Igbokwe. Anọ m n'obodo anyị bụ obodo Umuagu, Accient Kingdom. And onye mụ na ya nọkwanụ taa bụ His Royal Highness Eze Engineer John Amaghareonu Ezeomah Agụ the Second of Umuagu. Onye eze, birikwe. Yes. So, anyị ga-asụkwa, anyị na-asụtụ Igbo, anyị na-asụkwa na-agwakọta ya wit olu bekee ka ndị diaspora, ndị ọcha, ndị na-anaghị asụ Igbo na-aghọtatụkwenụ what we are saying so that they can understand and be part of the conversation. So, what we want to ask today is onye eze, biko n'ugwu gị kọwara anyị otu Umuagu shiri bịa into existence and how they are related with Ọhụhụ. What is the relationship between Ọhụhụ and Umuagu and how Umuagu came into existence? Mama.
Yeah. Your question is a good one. But actually, in the sense that the Umuagu no ebe kahush the bonye homo Umuagu. It will take us back to what you call the Great Igbo movement. Or sorry, the Great Movement. Migration.
Okay.
I will tell you up to Amaghareonu. Sure. Ndị Umuagu she Mbise towards that area during that great movement. Anyagagide may settle somewhere around in Imo State. The people Azakwa Umuagu 7.5 miles from the tower. We go over it. On the island harmony relation. I Sheba Obo may migrate through Igbokwe axis. Fota where I highlight London. But now on is on the boundary area in this now between the Abia and the Imo State. I may settle somewhere. I may settle somewhere in that at that location. We continue to move from that location. In fact, it is believed Nkumiko Umuagu no ever Kumema Ikoro or the Kumali Jehuya.
Okay.
And I don't know. It is believed that Kumiko and Umuagu no there. From there we moved. And note, during this great movement, our Alaga, Mandi Kebu, Mandi Chori settle, Hale Megashi settle, left and right, Yale Messin down. Now, like I said, the much we know, Lai Lumudiawa, Gary the Futa, Eba Mumuanya, Shinga move. Umuagu and Umudiawa lived together at a point.
As brothers?
As brothers.
Are they brothers?
I don't make one have brothers. When I hear one Asobias, H.A. Asobia, historian, when relation by migration, then records of relation by how do we call it, birth or something, but he has, I'm not a historian, but he has a definition for that. I think our relationship was migratory relationship. When you are a so I birila first of all, if I have in the first place, or because of him. Probably, you could not cross. So you go back. chere mgbe ọ ga-ede comfortable to cross. So immediately we crossed Imo, Nishimbo Magu Meseto Lafumudiawa. And that is why up till today, Agula Diawa would ready. Some years back, Onumagana Lonimudiawa. Or recently, Kadada, Simba Hadwala too much. Umagu Lumudiawa develop operator. Now, in the course of that, Umuagu now moved to where we are. Let me put it straight. Ndị mmadụ si lago lụrụ ụmụ anyị abụọ. Abụọ is not been proven. In my understanding, here are people that migrated together, had that relationship and brotherhood, have their marriage settled. And after that settlement, for example, let me say where we come from. When we crossed Imo, we didn't stop here. We moved on to Agwebi, between Umuagu and Leopard. That's where all of us, Agwebi and Umezegi, settled. Umuagu, where they are staying now, the original. Immediately they crossed Afubudiawa Across Express. Lelu, Azo, Eva, Hamene, Halakwea, Opu. That's where they settled. Now, so what I'm trying to illustrate is movement. I'm somebody that believes that Obibiani and who we are, Umuagu, a product of migration of people. And when people of like minds or who have some kind of friendship, there's struck some kind of friendship, and their hands be cut together. And so we find ourselves here. I want to quote, to refer to Asobia. He did quite some studies. During this migration, according to him, maybe I'll tell you if I remember the title of his book. During this migration, who moved to other parts of Omu, and they are still recognizable as Umuagu in other locations of Omu. So it is a product of migration. Though people want to believe Nnadozie
due to Umuagu that relationship, how did we merge with Umuagu? Yes.
Like I said, all migration. If you are sure. Let me tell you, you have to pray about migration. You got to fair man, everyone more than when she Gaga was a beach. Now you look at the distance between Ofeme and Ozo Beach. Everyone more than when she were. And some part of Umodakebe, and I don't Umodakeba. So you see, they are the same people that moved to settle either Lofeme, Heshofeme, Gafeba, or they settled this other side, Sheba, Gafeba. So my belief will like animal people that migrated together. Incidentally, last one. But when you look at the dialectical, whatever, yeah.
But there's a slight
difference. There were very, very slight differences. But to do so that's the thing that held us together. It is believed, Lord, you so you see, migration, I remember then that was a time when it was possession by conquest.
Okay.
Once you occupy, you own.
Possession by conquest.
Yes, once you come, you occupy, you own. There are some few stories about our neighbors. Mandika from Dike already made it possess.
Okay.
But since after that conquest and possessing, there are boundaries. And I'm sure in those days there were no boundaries. You just come into a place, you start farming there, it becomes your
It
land.
becomes your land, you take over.
You take over.
And you expand.
Then you expand, yes. So I do James Owo bet. No?
That was actually what the rumor had been. That got married and gave birth to the villages in Ohoho. And then the villages in Ohoho now give birth, for example, Umuagu got married to 2 women, just like you said, and gave birth to. But anyway, it's a myth. And that's why I am here today to have a full understanding about our history, how we came to exist, and whatnot. One more question I want to ask you is, how many villages makes up Umuagu? And can you mention them to us, please?
Administratively, not administratively. Umuagu were 4 major villages. I will explain why I call major. Agreed. Umeze, Mbagoro, and Omukoni. Ibial Umeze, development lad, Alekewa. What the Umuagu a village? Mbino Lumu autonomous community. Ipo Umuagu, Gabo, a village. But if you achieve because of development, Alekewasha for administrative purposes, Alekewasha autonomous community. When Umuagu became an autonomous community, Amaghareonu were these 4 villages. Inside the 4 villages, there are before and actually villages. But strictly speaking, today, Umuagu were 4 villages.
Okay.
As I said before, Agrebi, Umeze, Mbagoro, and Omukoni. Those are the villages.
Thank you. And one more question I have to ask is, what are the cultural heritage in Umuagu? Then where a lot of other communities where festivals, they unique and attached to them. What is that cultural heritage or festival that is attached to Umuagu?
Culture is dynamic.
True.
It changes.
Very true.
So I will go back a little bit. What I'm going to tell you about the guy here. Ejidimanu Umuagu, we here. They had that Leopard court. Imezu Umuagu, you were too much. All you told him, I had to work also. That was true. It is not too long ago, not too long ago. Umuagu lagalon, la boy here. Henry can buy a Hamungago, do a room here. The Aganato no map. Yabia, in Yalabre, the Gap was Umuagu, Yalas. However, that was when the Leopard continued. I said, I'm going to go back to the because, like I said, culture is very
Dynamic. Is there a reason why, when you say why that came to be now, Uncle Agageta, Onye Umuagu?
Yes, I will try and give you a little. In the animal kingdom, if you're kind, I'm going general, just scientific. If you are kind, animals in a sense.
That's true, very much.
So if you're kind to an animal, you can keep and you can sleep with that animal and it will not hurt you. Provided that animal knows you're not going to hurt it.
True.
That's the other side of it. But also, the other side of it, when that animal is revered, and wash it in quotes. All there. That was the story here. Two Ezeomah. Ikekwe ha nwere ike ha n'ọlụ gburuchi ha bịa n'ọlụ kpuru ojo. Ụmụntakịrị bịa ma akụtụ ha kasị ngwa ndị ike n'ụlọ ofesi ahụ ụmụntakịrị abịa ka ha ghara imeso ha ụjọ. They quietly leave because they are being revered. Onye Umuagu gbuo agụ ọ na-afọ ahụ maka mmadụ. That's correct. Onye Umuagu gbuo agụ ị ga-efu ya otu esi akwa mmadụ.
Just like some villages na mee ha gbuo eke.
Correct. Onye Umuagu gbuo agụ mistakenly ị ga-efu ya otu esi akwa mmadụ. Lie ya otu esi eli mmadụ. Eberi ya akwa. La mmadụ amụọla.
So onye Umuagu enweghị ike ịza igbu agụ.
No. Nye m chie gị ntachie gị maka gị chi ogbu agụ. Ọ dị otu enyi m nwoke na-aza egbe gburu agụ masị asọ ihe m nọrọ ịla nga ya site aka itu ya ma ya masị ọwụ ya ọla asọ ọwụ oke gogbu. Onye Umuagu anya anaghị egbu agụ. And because we don't kill it, go back to what you asked before. Ya ahịla anaghị egbu. No egbuo ya. Like I said before, animals when I said. So that the animal will hardly hurt you. It becomes your friend. That's scientific like
Because you're not a threat to it.
So apart from the diabolic or whatever, the other aspect of it is also true. You're kind to the animal will be kind to you.
And you know, there's a rumor going around that the reason Umuagu jiri bụrụ Umuagu is that no, o nwere onye a na-akpọ agụ that came back to, that reincarnated as an agụ to protect and guide his own people. Is that true?
That could be possible. That could be very possible. That could be possible. But I have not really, I will tell you what I think I know. I've not really gotten to that. I've not heard it.
Okay.
But it may be true that is the ab initio origin of the love between Umuagu and the Agụ. It could be possible. Because there must be something that will start that relationship. If it works, if it is true, then that could be said to be the origin of the relationship.
There is another question I want to ask you. Two more questions, please, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Your Highness. Ama mgbe nwere na Umuagu nwere mmiri mụkwa n'iyi, and ama m na enwere eme. Kedu mmiri ole nọ n'Umuagu? Kedu ebe ha nọ? Kekwa n'aha?
Mmiri nọ n'Umuagu, before I answer that, you how the hell they know more about Ebula Umoluru time?
Yes.
I'll just complete that.
Okay.
Mbembo, like I said before, culture is dynamic. Today, Bundia, I like a such a look. I love it because Lava, Ejo, Odumodu Alago. My grandfather's Barol Odumodu. And Odumodu, I think, is the oldest still existing now. Ejo, or an imported Umwashi, I think, Mbamino or somewhere. And like I said, culture is dynamic. And so many others. Ubua, Umukrobia Labek, that was Shia Ike. I think Yellow Mood could be said to be the oldest. And maybe Igbokwe, history, would be the oldest of all the dances Simon and Ezeomah, not the Ototo. Umuagu Munega. Incidentally, my mother happened to be one of those like one. So I had a Baba, I didn't do my I remember.
Onye Ezeomah, but I'm not Igbo na Alabeke.
Good dog, but never negotiate. So what all gosh?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
I wouldn't be able. I wouldn't be able.
Okay.
Now, if you add it to me,
Yes.
Umuagu, the king shot in the lane with me. In there, within and around them. Who may say, come have many Nicola or coach, otherwise they are plenteous. In America, almost everywhere with me. Minutes of you have water. But let's talk of Nicola where you can go and fetch water all year round. Like you mentioned them, I'm going to want to we year. At least this three. No, look at it. Gaga baby. Again, when you I think they're sharing the Yorkshire with the Umuagu. It's somewhere between them. And when you over Umuagu. Umuagu, when the Kaila Pongeluhe. And one other one I forgot to those on else on Hana Yabadaba. Forgotten the name. So meaning is available to some extent. To some extent. And I think that was one of the reasons we have to migrate to this place. Hala Choya Mbaho, mini and the fertile land. Yawa Koya here. Yeru, Heri Juafo. Then Gagem Minagemo. I think those were the days that were, according to history, that controlled people's movement and settlement in those great days of yore.
That's wonderful. One last question, Your Highness. In your Umuagu, and you were totem trees, and where can we find them? Very special trees that are significant and historical.
Yeah, sure. However, again, culture and things are dynamic. Life changes plenty.
Sure.
Ebe a na-eme omenagụ o ji osisi dị ya anyị. The almost equivalent to osisi ndị Igbo lakpa nọ n'ebe. But existing today, you got to do my kind. Aqua noga, Ochiam noga, the Adam shop, Nandam ha, you've been there for ages. And there are so many others. But like I said, the dynamics of culture and life as a result of religious intrusion. Yeah, so, well, I would say some of them were errors. Because some of these things were, yes, ala triage. But some of them were hejibana obodo. Yes, alfora ala triage. So when religion came, they felt those things will help them attract, let them motivate, or let them enhance in charge and all the rest of it. They started cutting some of them, but we still have that one human still standing today. Yeah.
Would you encourage the young generations to plant or preserve these totem trees for the future's sake?
I will tell you one thing. Culture is the totality of any people's behavior and mannerism. So it involves everything about the people. One. Two. Any people that is devoid of a culture do not exist. So extinguish the culture, you extinguish those people.
True. Very true.
Having said this, it is very, very, very important to keep our culture, especially those ones that are not bad. Sure, they were bad big behavior, just like we are human beings arguing when they get mad. Those ones that are not bad, they should be preserved at all costs. They should be preserved. If you have I still remember, don't get a sorry, for the what you put up while I'm not there. What you told me, the round huts, roofed to the top, the pitch, the very high. And it was one of its kind. But religious intrusion, those things were destroyed. So I think it is proper and necessary that we preserve Ejirimara. I got even Ejirimara, or Nicola Reacala Hela de Gema, the West Baka here down La de Gema. I will bring hygiene, Mujibia, Yahu Hejimaran, she can. That's what I think.
That's beautiful.
That's what I think.
One last question, Onyeze. Have politics affected the unity of and togetherness of Umuagu, and in what ways?
Sure, it has. Definitely. Definitely. When a program, I thought back in the days of my youth, not too long ago, not too old, but I remember that all in Wale, Umweze iri vurungwa, ha grogro futali shori Umuagu. Ave be grogro futali shemeka, umukona grofuta, mbabra grofuta, I has all Umuagu. And people were joyous. There was that brotherly interaction and celebration and happiness. Onyu bezedi, ye hafu bezedi, ya ga gbagro ya no ye norocha, ye sheba lo webe. But politics and misinterpreted and misrepresented religion. Emele adịghịkwa n'otu agha adọ onye tọrọ onye wo ụmụ ikpeazụ onye wo onye tọrọ and all these kind of things. Sure, politics and bad religion emele affect the unity of Umuagu. And one of the major things that is Lapulanyazo. What the Umuagu we would him would. Is Unu Mokrag Hale Paper Kachineke make Unu Garachi Kahini Garachi back to a high land. Wood, wood. Already put a law wood to Namran, Lily me. I had to load because I put a law wood to Namran, Macadri load. Otherwise, the truth is that politics, I don't want to call religion, because the true religion holds unity as the bedrock. So that's why I call it either mutilated or adulterated religion. These two factors, we are Ezeomah. In any case, I think it's synonymous with only.
That's the reason why I'm asking, because I'm a lot of community.
I think it's synonymous with only Omash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Onyeze, Mama. I wrap here up for today.
Okay.
Because ndị Umuagu, ma ndị nọ n'Umuagu, ma ndị nọ abroad in the diaspora ga-emu video biko gọrọ m ọfọ were ha gọzie.
Ana m ebu ya kwamwe ala Umuagu Bible m na-agụla Jeremiah kpọrọ ala ugbo atọ ọ nụrụ olu Jehova kewa ala n'ohi ebe ekpe otu nwanne m nwoke ọchọ Chineke ọ nyere anyị certificate of occupancy ebe Chineke a gị nyere anyị ebe ya chọọ ka anyị wuru onye Amerịka ọ gaghị cost ya anything ya kpalaga anyị don't cost him anything but ọcha anyị nọ n'ebe alụmaka ọwụ anyị na-agaghị anọ ya ma arịọ gị wule ụmụ gị chewekwe ha duwekwe ha ụtụtụ ehihie abalị orio afọ nkwọ eke duwekwe ha na-eduba ha na ihe ọma ji ha eji ụzọ ịka nke ụmụ okorobịa ụmụ ochochie abụrụ na eme ochochie ha na-achụghala nta achụrụ ụmụ ochochie ala ụmụaka gee ntị ji ha eji ụzọ ha kụta eji ego nye ha eji amamihe edemfere ji ọnụ ka agha bụ ọ dị ndụ ọchụ ụmụ okorobịa onye ọ kpatara ego ma o mee ha ọrịa ufu ji ha otu eji eme ego ọrịa ufu ego yite gbara ha hapụbite onye ọrịa ufu mmadụ otu ochi agba ọsọ ha gbubiri nye ha ga-egbubiri achịbọdị ndị ga-egbara agha onye na-aga ọfọ onye na-aga ọkụ ya kụta ya ga-ekụta ya were akụ ọma achị mkpọkpọ bebe ya eme n'onu ụmụ Umuagu mgbe ọbụla ụnụ nọ kpọkpọ bebe ya eme n'onu ụnụ kụ ụnụ kụta ndụ ogologo ahụike uju ụnụ hụrụ ite onwe ụnụ n'anya were ịdị n'otu n'isi ọnụrụbe nwanne chi ya gbara ọsọ Umuagu nụla nke ka nke enye ji ihe ọma bịa na n'aka ya mgbe niile ka eri ya ngwugwu ihe ọma bụ ya n'isi ya onye jikwere ihe ọjọọ bịa n'ala Umuagu ka ekpere ya ngwugwu ihe ọjọọ ya ahụ bụ ya n'isi n'ihi ikorola aka o metara vuru ala Umuagu ya dịrị nwoke ọma dịrị nwaanyị ogbe ka anyị nọkwa n'ugwu ha na-eri ebe ahụ metụkwa ha n'obi ka ha na-echeta ogbe ka anyị na-ewetara anyị ka anyị na-emetụ ihe otu onye ga-emere bịa tiri anyị the first good alkaline water ebutere n'ala Umuagu ebutu ya onye ọzọ mee anyị agba ọsọ ụkọ mmiri metụ ha aka n'obi akụ ọma ha kụta ya kụtakwuo ya akụtakwuo ka ala Umuagu dị mma ka anyị ka agbata obi anyị mma n'ihi ọ dịghị anyị ukwu ọgwụ ka anyị ka ha mma ka ha bịakwa ndị lere ihe ebe a Umuagu ga-ala amụta ihe ala Umuagu akacha adịala achị ndị adịrị anyị mma ụtụtụ ehihie abalị
Thank you so much for listening, and I remain Chief Nnadozie Igbokwe, and who I am here with is His Royal Highness Engineer John Amaghareonu Ezeomah Ago the second of Umuagu.